What's going on, Fit Fam? I am, you can tell I'm getting old because my neck is starting to look old. I'm doing a quick vlog. Just dropped off the wife at the airport to go. She's going to stay with her mother, my mother-in-law. And it's not what you think. How many times can you say that your wife goes to stay at your mother-in-law's and you guys didn't get in an argument? So, no, my mother-in-law is having surgery on her shoulder. So my wife is going to help her. I took the girls, took the kids, but she's going to be there for about 3 weeks, and then it'll help me to acclimate my time frame of working, getting up early, and all that stuff. So, but I wanted to vlog because I wanted to do a PSA for those who are not aware of what Citrin Deficiency is, because this weekend it hit me, and I didn't even think about it. Citrin Deficiency basically is when the body can't process the glucose from carbs, and it creates pneumonia. Is it pneumonia? Ammonia in your bloodstream, which basically could kill you if it's not treated and you're not aware. So this weekend, Friday night was kind of a celebration. Dad got a job offer, right? We're excited. I'm gonna start working. But Dad's not going to be home. My daughter was really upset because I wasn't going to be home anymore. But, so we ordered 2 pizzas, 1 cheese, 1 meat, and gluten-free because we can't have gluten. I rash out like crazy with gluten, which we also found out. And I had like 5 pieces. And they're not big pieces. They're just typical size, right? Little people size. And that night, my legs started cramping. Now, granted, Friday morning, I walked about 5,000 steps because I was doing the tracking to see the commute and all that stuff, and then headed downtown. And so I thought maybe the cramps were from me just walking, exercise, getting old. Nope. Next day, Saturday, granted, I've never had a hangover, so I don't know what it entails, but this is the closest thing that I could relate it to in an analogy. Is I felt like I had a hangover on Saturday. My brain was foggy, my head was tired, my body was tired, and I felt like I could just go back to bed. And it felt like I stayed up way too late, which I didn't. So we looked up some of the symptoms on chat, and we know that I have Citrin Deficiency, and we said, what? We had pizza. What? Was it Citrin? Yes. That's what it did to me. So PSA is, if you know any other Asian people, it's most prominent in Asian people. That's why we say that, but it could happen to other people too that are not Asian. But if you know anyone that's Asian who always seems like they're tired and irritable or brain fog, it could be that they have Citrin Deficiency, because Asians are known to stereotypically eat rice every day. And I don't eat rice because I never liked it. We always said that was a bad Asian because I don't eat rice every day. Well, now we know why. It never made me feel good, and for whatever reason, psychologically, I never ate it. I still don't eat it. I'll, bite here and there, but I don't. It's not a daily thing, and we're not Asian cultured in our family. We value the culture, but I don't eat Asian food all the time. But if you know someone who does, and they had these symptoms, they could be Citrin deficient. And it's not popularly known. And like I said, we're going to do I volunteered for a study to go in, and they could do tests on my blood and stuff like that. But the cure, or the way to process, is there's a amino acid called L-arginine, and that's what you need to take. 5 grams of L-arginine. So I ordered it. I haven't taken it yet, but apparently if you're Citrin deficient, you're supposed to take it on a daily basis, 5 grams, which is actually 8 capsules, and it'll help you process and get that ammonia out of your blood and help you break down carbs if you have to eat carbs. So there's your PSA. And I guess the cramps that I was having were not cramps. They're muscle spasms, which is what citrin deficiency can cause. Muscle spasms. So like I'll be like, twist my foot a certain way and all of a sudden it starts cramping. And I have to push my foot down or massage it and all that. So yeah, not fun. But there you go. I'm trying to spread the awareness that my mom had even said that her mother seemed to have some kind of chronic illness. And now think about this. Genetics, if her mom had it and it skipped my mom, it probably landed on me. And then my dad, you know, I don't know his history. He won't talk about his history. My dad and I are not close. I guess we're pretty close to being estranged, if you will, because he hasn't done a lot of, he hasn't been in my life. We chit chat every once in a while. He has never met his granddaughters. My daughter's 5, and we just had a new daughter who's 4 months. So, and there's no animosity. I mean, it is what it is. But somehow, somewhere from his line had a gene, and that's where I got it. So those are some of the things to think about. I do remember when I was younger, my mom would always say, "How are you?" in my 20s, and I was constantly tired. I'd say, "I'm tired. I'm exhausted." And she always thought, you know, maybe something was wrong with me. Well, I didn't know at the time, but, you know, my lunches were sandwiches. I was eating gluten, and my skin was all rashy and dry and flaky. I mean, that's why my neck is the way it looks now, is because it was constantly dry and itchy and rashy, and this is all kind of like scar tissue. But there you go. So be safe, eat healthy, and today's affirmation is all about perception. Let's talk about perception. In today's society, we have a perception that is kind of pushed onto us. We're here to think what we're supposed to think based on media, based on news, based on advertisements, based on the whole 9 yards, you know. Remember back in the day, it was cool to smoke. Why? Because that's a perception. It was pushed on whatever it was in movies, and then they started taking cigarettes out. You know, it was cool to drink. It was cool to party. It was cool to do this. It was cool to have this bag. It's cool to have these clothes. It's same thing. And we have to be aware. What is our perception? Where are we getting it from? Where's this influence coming from? And I think that's part of understanding. The glass is full. The glass is half empty. It's all about perception. And I think it was Wayne Dyer who said, if you change the way you look at things, then things will change. Something like that. I know I'm not misquoting. And so it's really important to really take a look at your life. Is it as bad as it is? Can you change the way you look at things? Can things improve? Absolutely. You know, I said I was unemployed since January, and a buddy reminded me. He goes, "You were doing a contract job from January to April, or not April, January to March." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So I guess I wasn't really unemployed for 8 months, more like 5. But there you go. So I hope this helps somebody. And this is the first unedited blog with me not working out. There you go.